Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to looking at the top 100 players of the 2020 NFL season. So, if you don't know what this is, they ask a bunch of football players who the top 100 players are. And they vote, and it's actually voted by the players, which is really, really cool. So, we're going to talk about 100 all the way down to number one. And we're also going to go over number 110 to number 101, but we won't do that until we get to the top 10. So obviously right now you see 194, and we'll just keep scrolling down as we go. So going first at number 100, we have Lavonte David, the linebacker from the Buccaneers. He is a pretty good player, and that seems like that'd be pretty close to where he would, rank. Darren Waller at number 99, the tight end for the Raiders. He's a very good tight end, very fast. He's a huge guy. He was playing receivers, switched to tight end, and he had issues early on in his career, but he's really turned it around, and I'm really happy for him. Then you have number 98, Brandon Brooks. Yes, the guard from the Eagles. Yes, he is out for the upcoming season, so they signed Jason Peters to play right guard. I think he injured his Achilles, if I'm correct. But he's out for the year, but still at number 98. He's a really nice right guard. Budda Baker, the safety from the Cardinals. I was a little surprised to see him on this list since you don't really hear too much about him. But, maybe it's because he plays in Arizona and people are just not really talking about Arizona unless it's Kyler Murray or Larry Fitzgerald or now DeAndre Hopkins. At number 96, you have Chris Carson, the running back for the Seahawks, who I believe is pretty underrated, so I was happy to see him on the list. Frank Clark at number 95, the DN for the Chiefs. Very good player. And he got paid. And he made a lot of huge plays for the Chiefs this year. In a lot of big games. Not just during the regular season, but during the playoffs as well. You have Jason Kelce at number 94, the center for the Eagles. He is the brother of Travis Kelce. He's a really nice center. He really is. I've used him a couple times in Madden, but usually I don't use him that often because his run blocking and pass blocking, I like my guys to be balanced, and he's not that balanced, but still a really nice center. Number 93, you have Allen Robinson, the wide receiver for the Bears. This was nice to see him on this list because he's a really nice receiver. Number 92, Darius Slay, the corner for the Eagles. He did get traded from the Lions, but he's still a nice corner. Big play Slay. Number 91, we have Grady Jarrett, the D-tackle for the Falcons. He's a really nice D-tackle. He really is. His dad is Jesse, I hope I say this last name right, Tuggle? He got the legend card in one of the legend cards in Madden this year, for Madden 20. But he's a nice D-tackle for the Falcons, so it was good to see him. Number 90, Kyler Murray. This isn't the quarterback for the Cardinals. This isn't really a huge surprise. He had a nice year, There were, I think, a couple of games where he didn't play that well, but overall, he had a nice season. 89, Cooper Kupp, wide receiver for the Rams. People, I don't think, give him enough credit for how good of a receiver he is. Not to say he actually, I don't know if you can actually label him as underrated. You could say maybe slightly underrated, but he still is a very good receiver. There were a couple games where he absolutely lit it up. But the game versus the Steelers, he didn't catch a single ball. So, but he still had a very nice season. Number 88, Jalen Smith, the linebacker for the Cowboys. To have what he went through during the draft, because I think he played his bowl game and got hurt. and he ended up falling out of the first round, and he was a second round pick. But to see him on this list, I'm happy for him. Yes, it's the Cowboys, but I'm still happy for him. Number 87, Josh Allen, quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. I live somewhat near Buffalo. I'm about an hour away, so our local games are the Bills. And I gotta say, he's unbelievable. Some of the plays he makes. He's hurdled people. He can absolutely just bomb it down the field. Just as much, if not more, than Mahomes. Like, if you had Josh Allen and Mahomes stand next to each other and just rip it, he's throwing it just as far. Hell, he even has 99 throw power in Madden, which is more than Mahomes. But, I mean, during the draft process, when he was coming out of Wyoming, I wanted him so bad for the Steelers, but he just got picked way too early. It became apparent, I'm trying to think. At some point during the draft process, I realized he's just going to be picked way too early. He's going to be a top 10 pick. That's way sooner than the Steelers draft. And I was right. I think he got picked at 7 after the Bills traded up. Number 86, Marlon Humphrey, cornerback for the Ravens. He is a very good corner. He has a way of going after the ball. During the first game where the Ravens played the Steelers in Pittsburgh, Juju got a touchdown on him because he broke the tackle. But Marlon was going after the ball. He wasn't so much focused on tackling Juju. He went for the ball. He failed. Overtime, exact same situation. He got the ball that time from Juju. Zach Ertz, number 85, tight end for the Eagles. It's kind of weird seeing him this far down because if you were to name the top 3 tight ends in the league right now, you're talking George Kittle, Travis Kelce, and Zach Ertz. So to see him all the way down to 85, it's like, yeah, Kittle and Kelce are an extra step or 2 above Zach Ertz. Like, out of those 3, he's number 3. But, I mean, couldn't you have put him in the 50s? So to have him at 85, I feel is too low. My boy, number 84, Cameron Hayward, defensive lineman from the Steelers. He's awesome. He's finally getting some recognition over the past few years. They were talking about how every time he's been on the top 100 list, he's had an 8 in his number. He was 48, then 88, and then 88, and now 84. He was 88 2 years in a row. He has a crazy bull rush. I'm just so happy he plays for the Steelers. Number 83, Eric Kendricks, linebacker for the Vikings. Nice, solid player. This is probably about where he belongs. Number 82, Ryan Ramczyk, the offensive lineman for the Saints. I think he's a right tackle. He's a nice right tackle. Don't know that much about him because, offensive line, not really my favorite team. But, I think that's fine. Could be higher, I guess. Number 81, DK Metcalf, the wide receiver for the Seahawks. A lot of people said, he couldn't run a lot of routes and, a wide receiver shouldn't be that, built. Because everyone knows from pictures, but he can still fly. And, he showed the Seahawks you made the right decision by drafting him. Yeah, I think it was 3rd round? No, was it? No, I think it was end of the 2nd. Maybe the last pick of the 2nd round or something like that. He got drafted. Number 80, Myles Garrett, defensive end for the Browns. He'd probably be higher if he didn't get suspended for the last 6 games of the season. We all know why. I don't think we need to talk about that much. But good player. He was doing really well, and one mistake kind of ruined the season for him. So, bounce back, stay out of trouble, and see if you can get higher next year. Number 79, Calais Campbell from the Ravens, defensive end. He was traded for a 5th round pick. I think the Ravens got an absolute steal from Jacksonville. They gave him a new contract as well. He's a really, really nice defensive end. I love listening to him talk just because of how his voice is. I think he's still kind of low at 79, but I just absolutely love this dude. It sucks he's going to be playing the Steelers twice a year, but I absolutely love him. Tyron Smith, number 78, tackle from the Cowboys. He was one away from his actual number of 77. He's a really nice left tackle, though he kind of gets injured a lot. And he's getting older. The entire Cowboys offensive line is getting older, but he kind of gives you around 13 games a year now, it feels like. I don't know. He gets hurt a lot, it seems like. And when he does get hurt, I mean, the Cowboys' production does take a pretty big drop. Number 77, Keenan Allen, wide receiver for the Chargers. He's a great receiver. He really is a really nice receiver. Nice hands. He's big. He may not be the fastest guy, but it doesn't matter if you can, run routes and make the necessary catches. Number 76, Marshawn Lattimore, cornerback for the Saints. He's a nice corner. He has everything to him. He's got the length. He's got the speed. He's got the coverage. He can press. He has everything. Number 75, Earl Thomas, safety for the Ravens. This kind of feels appropriate for him. This feels like, he should be around this area. He is a good safety, but there are definitely guys who are better. Number 74, Ronnie Stan. Oh, they forgot the hashtag or the number sign. Oh, number 74, Ronnie Stanley, tackle for the Ravens. Nice tackle. I think he plays the left tackle, if I'm correct, because I think Orlando Brown Jr. plays right. But he really is a nice tackle. I think, if I remember correctly from watching this, he didn't allow a single sack the entire regular season, which is unbelievable. Number 73, Fletcher Cox, D-tackle from the Eagles. He's a fantastic defensive lineman. I usually try to get him in Mutt. Number 72, Josh Jacobs, running back from the Raiders. He was doing really well before he got hurt this year. So, I mean, the ceiling for him is possibly the sky. The sky may just be the limit for him, and the arrow's pointing up. He'll come back stronger, and he'll be a real force for the Raiders. Another defensive lineman that got traded this year, Jurrell Casey. He was number 71 on the list. He is now a defensive end for the Denver Broncos. He is no longer playing for the Tennessee Titans. He as well is a really good defensive lineman, and he'll be really good in Denver. So now they got Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, and Jurrell Casey. I think Derek Wolf's still there. Number 70, Fred Warner, linebacker from the 49ers. Fantastic linebacker, I think he's just finished his second year in the league, if I'm correct. Now, if you guys saw me play Madden 19, I believe it was, and I played the franchise mode where I was a linebacker for the 49ers, I think I picked number 59. There was a guy who had number 48. And him and I were great playing together. It ended up being Fred Warner, even then. And I think that was Madden 19. If it wasn't, then oh well. But, then it was Madden 20. But this was awesome to see him do so well. Because playing, as a linebacker for the 49ers in my franchise mode and just playing next to this guy, I don't know if anyone else gets that, where you just even though it's programming, it's a computer program, it's not the real person, but you kind of get attached to them. You know? At number 69, you have Larry Fitzgerald, the wide receiver for the Cardinals, the ageless wonder, the guy who just refuses to, drop off that cliff. Yeah, every year it's okay. Does his production drop? No, not this year. Okay, next. No, it didn't happen. No, it didn't happen again. Like, he has more tackles in his career than he does drops. I hope y'all understand that. Number 68, Ryan Tannehill, quarterback from the Titans. This was a bit of a surprise. But I can kind of see why, with some of the stats he had, that he did get this spot. Number 67, Demario Davis, linebacker for the Saints. He was a really nice linebacker who, he was with the Jets, went to the Browns, back to the Jets, but I think he's kind of found a home in New Orleans. Number 66, Laramie Tunsil, offensive lineman for the Texans. He's a left tackle. I don't know why they say offensive line, but he's a left tackle. This guy he's a really nice left tackle. Now, was he worth the price of 2 first-rounders? But, hey, that's the price you pay to protect Deshaun. I mean, you got a franchise quarterback. You got to protect him. Number 65, Tyler Lockett, wide receiver for the Seahawks. He's awesome. He's so fast. That catch he made versus the Rams, it was, where Russell put it right, exactly where it needed to be for him to catch it away from the rest of the Rams defense and still get his toes in bounds. That was an unbelievable play. Harrison Smith, number 64. I don't know why it says DB. He's a safety. He is a safety for the Vikings. He's one of the best safeties in the league. He really is. He's consistently up there with the top guys. Number 63, Preston Smith, linebacker for the Packers. I tell you, him and Za'Darius, you just got... I know they aren't actually brothers. They're not actually related. But you got the Smith brothers coming, on one on each end. Forget about it. At number 62, we have another Packer player. David Bakhtiari, left tackle for obviously the Packers. He's a really nice left tackle. I'm trying to think. There was some kind of stat they said that I can't remember about him, but him and Bulaga made a really nice tandem at each tackle spot, but now Bulaga's with the Chargers. Number 61, Jarvis Landry, wide receiver for the Browns. Great hands. Nice route running. He's all around one of the best receivers. At number 60, this was a little surprising. Logan Ryan, cornerback, who's a free agent. So, they listed all of the stats he had during the season, and I'm questioning why he's a free agent. Whether that's because of the pandemic, have teams just not been able to get him in? Or, are they waiting for people to opt out? A lot of players for the Patriots are opting out. So does that give the Patriots the chance to bring him back on a cheap deal? Or are teams going to wait until, their star corner opts out and they got to go sign him? I don't know. Now, I do know the Steelers, Justin Lane, has been put on the COVID reserve list. Basically what that is, it's something the NFL created where if a player either A, tests positive for COVID, or B, has been exposed to someone who has tested positive for COVID, then they're kind of reserved off the roster, and so they can quarantine, and then the team can bring in someone else if it's, during the regular season, you have to bring someone in. Just until that person is done with their quarantine or until they're proven that they are indeed healthy and can return. So maybe that's what Logan Ryan's job's going to be. You take a guy, let's say Casey Hayward for the Chargers, right? And they call Logan. Hey, Logan, we need you for a couple weeks. Casey came down with COVID. Okay, cool, I'm there. Yeah. It could be something like that. Number 59, you have Jarvis Landry's best friend, Odell Beckham Jr., a wide receiver for the Browns. Again, great receiver. He's up there with the best in the league. With hands and the one-handed catches and the jumping and the route running and everything. Number 58, Kirk Cousins, quarterback for the Vikings. Kirk getting some recognition. He got the first fully guaranteed contract when he went over to Minnesota. He just got another contract. He was just in the playoffs. I think he made it to the divisional round, if I'm correct. Because I think they beat the Saints. I think they beat the Saints in the wild card round. Could be wrong, but I think they did. And he is really a good quarterback. He may not be top 10, but even if he's like 11 or 12, he's definitely in that. He's above average. Number 57, Davante Adams, wide receiver for the Packers. Another great wide receiver. He's another one of those tall guys where he's over 6 foot. I think he's like 6'1 or 6'2 if I'm correct. Aaron Rodgers relies on him to make the catches. Yeah. In the playoffs, he was the guy that Aaron turned to when he needed him. Number 55. Number 56, DeForest Buckner. He did get traded to the Colts, so I don't know why that picture over there says 49ers. But he is a D tackle for the Colts now. He got traded for a first rounder. Nice D tackle. I think he's going to do really nice things in Indianapolis. But, the 49ers have so much talent on their D-line, they kind of they had the ability to trade him. Plus, I think they might have picked up another D lineman. I'm not sure with that first rounder they got. Number 55, Zach Martin, guard for the Cowboys. He is quite possibly the best guard in the game. If you want to differentiate the left guard and the right guard, then he's probably the best right guard in the game. You're talking between him, David Castro, probably Brooks. I'm trying to think of other right guards. There's only a few of them that can do everything that those three guys can. Number 54, Stefon Diggs, wide receiver for the Bills. Now, Bill O'Brien. That is how you trade a wide receiver. Okay? The Bills went and got him. Josh Allen needed another weapon. And now he's got Stefon Diggs, Cole Beasley. He's got John Brown as his top 3. They got that guy, number 16. I can't remember his name. He's a tall guy, 6'4". He's super fast. I liked him not the 2019 season, the 2018 season I liked him. He did some good stuff coming off the practice squad. Number 53, Marcus Peters, cornerback for the Ravens. Not that he was doing bad with the Rams, but when he got traded to the Ravens, he upped his game. He really did. Number 52, Chris Jones, D tackle for the Chiefs, the man who just got paid. Really nice D tackle, just got paid. I mean, he's one of the best. Not even just one of the best D tackles, he's one of the best D linemen in the game right now. Number 51, Todd Gurley, running back for the Falcons. This one confused me quite a bit because of how sparingly he was used until the end of the season. I honestly think something's wrong with his knee. Or something at least was wrong with his knee. Number 50, Darius Leonard, linebacker for the Colts. He just completed his second year in the league. His rookie year, he was Defensive Rookie of the Year. His second year, I know he dropped back some spots, but he's still one of the best linebackers. One of the best outside linebackers right now. Number 49, Amari Cooper, wide receiver for the Cowboys. He also just got paid. I think he got 20 a year. That's absolutely crazy. Great route runner. I know people have concerns about him playing on the road because his game on the road sucked. And then he would come back to Dallas for home games and he'd do great. So did you just pay $20 million for a guy who's only going to show up for 8 games out of the year? We got to see. The other Smith. Number 48, Za'Darius Smith, linebacker for the Packers. Similar stuff to what I said about Preston Smith. Those two guys coming off the edge, and they didn't really pay huge money for either guy. That's the amazing part about it. Sometimes it's just scheme. Number 47, Tre'Davious White, cornerback for the Bills. This guy had the most targets in the entire NFL without allowing a touchdown. Yeah. He was unbelievable. Like, when you're talking about corners in the AFC East, Gilmore's number 1, White's number 2. Simple as that. And you want to know something? If Gilmore was not there, almost any other corner you replace him with, then White's number 1. If you switch Casey Hayward, White's better. If you put I'm gonna even say Steelers, Joe Hayden, White's better. You'd have to put someone like a Patrick Peterson to have a debate there. He is so good. He is an amazing player. Number 46, Dak Prescott, the quarterback for the Cowboys. The man who is going to play on the franchise tag this year. Number 46, seems about right. There's going to be, 5? If I remember, 5-ish quarterbacks ahead of him. Because you have Lamar, Mahomes, Russell. That's 3 right there. But, Dak's kind of that guy who's fighting to be in the top 10. And, he's almost there. If not right at number 9 or 10, He's somewhere in that 9 to 12 ballpark, where he's fighting to be in the top 10. Number 45, J.J. Watt, DN for the Texans. This is more like it. With his Madden rating being 98, that was kind of ridiculous. But number 45, that's about right. Number 44, Mark Ingram, running back for the Ravens. He did really well this year, playing for Baltimore. Their running game was insane. Number 43, Jimmy G, quarterback for the 49ers. Some recognition for this guy. Kyle Shanahan's record with Jimmy G and without Jimmy G, Jimmy G is the reason I think Shanahan still has a job. Number 42, Alvin Kamara, running back for the Saints. This he's amazing. And for being a 3rd round pick too, it doesn't matter. I've always said this. It doesn't matter when you're drafted. It doesn't matter what round you're drafted in. What matters is what you do after you're drafted. And he's taken full opportunity to prove he can play. Number 41, Jadeveon Clowney, defensive end, free agent. He would not be a free agent if he took money that was being offered to him, but I think he has a number set in his head, and he's not getting that number. And then he's deciding not to sign. So, we'll see. Number 40, Danielle Hunter, defensive end for the Vikings. I had him in MUT for most of the year. He's awesome. I love this guy. His cards in Madden are just so fast. I think people are saying it's like having the speed of either a linebacker or like a safety kind of deal, like that kind of hybrid guy, but you're in a 6'6" body. Like, it's kind of unfair, you know? He's like that freak of nature kind of dude. Number 39, the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, safety for the Chiefs. Amazing player. He had quite a few good years in Carolina, or not Carolina, with the Arizona Cardinals. And then went to Houston for a year, and I think his new home is definitely Kansas City. Number 38, Chris Godwin, wide receiver for the Buccaneers. He gave up number 12 to give to Tom. I think he took a number close to it. I think he took 14. But he's a really, really nice receiver. Between him, Mike Evans, you got O.J. Howard, you got Cameron Brate, you got Gronk. There's a ton of weapons down in Tampa Bay. So we'll see how his production does next year with adding even more weapons. You know, they drafted a running back, but also I doubt Tom Brady's going to throw 30 interceptions. But he also may not pass for 5,000 yards. Number 37, Jalen Ramsey, cornerback for the Rams, traded to the Rams during the season. He's going to get paid. I don't think he's been paid yet. He's going to get paid, though. He's one of the best corners out there. He really is. He's one of the guys where, if he was in the AFC East, you could debate. You could definitely debate between him and Trey. But he's like the, who the hell did I say that had everything that you wanted in a corner? See, now I gotta go back. It wasn't Marcus. Oh, it was Marshawn. Yeah, he's got everything, just like Marshawn. He's got the height, he's got the length, he's got the speed, the coverage, everything. Number 36, Nick Chubb, running back for the Browns. He did great this year. He really did. He is an absolute force. Because not only, you got some guys who are power guys, but they're not that fast. But then you got your fast guys, but they can't truck anybody. They're a tiny guy. They're elusive. They got to make big plays by spinning and juking. Nick Chubb takes the power and the speed, and you put them together, and then you go. And number 35, my boy, Minkah Fitzpatrick, safety for the Steelers. Traded right at the beginning of the season, played week 3 against the 49ers, immediately made an impact, had 5 picks on the year. The last 8 games of the season, he was only thrown at twice. He probably would have been Defensive Player of the Year if people hadn't stopped throwing at his direction. It's Minkah's here? Okay, we're going here. We're going anywhere but there. And he was honestly on pace for Defensive Player of the Year before, people said, oh, no, that's a problem. Let's go the other direction. He was a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. He just shut down an entire portion of the field. So even though he wasn't making plays, his stats weren't there, he was still having a huge impact. He took away a portion of the field. Number 34, the man who just got paid. Joey Bosa, defensive end for the Chargers. He's amazing. He really is. He's a great defensive end, as is his brother. The Bosas are unreal. He just got paid a huge contract. I think he just broke the money that got, Myles Garrett, because Myles Garrett got paid too. I think he got 5 years at $125. Joey Bosa got 5 years at $135, I believe. So Myles is making $25 a year. Joey Bosa is making $27 a year. Number 33, Aaron Jones, running back for the Packers. I like this guy. I really do. He's possibly an underrated running back. Obviously not to the players, but maybe to some fans. You know, they were like, who? No, the players know who he is. Number 32, the man who led the league in sacks, Shaquille Barrett, linebacker for the Buccaneers. If I remember, Madden did him dirty in Madden 21 for his rating. And he led the league in sacks. He beat Chandler Jones. And he beat him. So, he's an awesome linebacker. He really is. He kind of exploded onto the scene after coming from Denver, where he wasn't used that much. But then again, you got Von Miller. How much are you really going to play? Number 31, Saquon Barkley, running back for the Giants. Saquon's going to be up here. He is. Like, there's no denying it. Number 30, Mike Evans, wide receiver for the Bucks. We all know what this man can do. He's 6'5", he's 230, 240, whatever the hell he is. He's so big that he could play tight end. He really could. Maybe when he's older and he loses a little bit of his speed, maybe he plays tight end. Until that time, he is going to stay as a wide receiver. I remember playing Madden 20 Draft Champs early in the year. And I drafted 3 wide receivers. Julio Jones, Kenny Golladay, and Mike Evans. 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". Unintentionally drafted all tall receivers and absolutely dominated that game. And that was like the 90 Mike Evans, the team of the week. Number 29, Quentin Nelson, offensive lineman. He's a left guard for the Colts. He's unbelievable. He is the best young left guard in the game. And then when you get done saying that, he's one of the best, if not the best left guard, just in general. And then he's one of the best guards. I know he had one bad game against Cam Newton. Or not Cam Newton. Cam Hayward. I don't know why I said Newton. Cam Hayward from the Steelers. He had one bad game, as far as I'm aware of. If anyone else knows of any bad games he had, let me know. Number 28, Richard Sherman, cornerback for the 49ers. This dude's always one of the best corners. He is. Even as he's getting older. And he's so smart. That's what people don't realize. How smart this dude is. You know, after his injury with Seattle, no one knew what was going to happen. And here he is. Ta-da. Number 27, Jamal Adams, safety for the Seahawks. Huge trade to send him over to Seattle. 2 firsts, a third. Bradley McDougald. Huge trade. Now, unless they were competing against somebody, Seattle's an idiot. If they were competing against another team, I can see why they would give up that much. But, like, it's not like McDougald's a bum. He's a starting safety, you know? So, I don't know. We'll see what kind of impact he has, because you're also now going to have to pay him. He's going into his 4th year, I believe. Like, you got to pay him now. At number 26, Von Miller, linebacker for the Broncos. He's always, dominant. He's always one of the best in the league. Super Bowl 50 MVP. He has everything, At number 25, just one spot ahead of him. The final Steeler on the list. T.J. Watt, linebacker from the Steelers. A man who competed for Defensive Player of the Year, was the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. He had 14.5 sacks, 8 forced fumbles. He had, 2 picks, I think? He had X amount of passes defense. He's a monster. He's only getting better. And at the rate these defensive linemen and edge guys are getting paid, the Steelers are going to end up paying him almost $30 million. They really are. At number 24, we have Zeke, running back from the Cowboys. Zeke's one of those guys where if he's coming right at you, like, you know you have to tackle him, but you're not happy about it. You're not excited about it. You're just hoping he doesn't truck you and keep running. Number 23, Cam Jordan, DN for the Saints. This guy's always awesome as well. Number 22, Tyreek Hill, wide receiver for the Chiefs. What can I say? I mean, Cheetah. He's so fast. And that speed allows him to be so dominant. Because you have some guys who are fast, but they can't translate their speed into actual results. I think of Dre Archer as an example. They're the small guy, they're fast, but that's it. They can't, they relied on their speed for so long. Tyreek Hill's the guy who actually used his speed and turned it into, production. Also having, your quarterback be Patrick Mahomes, that didn't hurt. Number 21, Dalvin Cook, running back for the Vikings. I was expecting him to be on the list, but at 21, I feel like is a stretch. Number 20, Deshaun Watson, quarterback for the Texans. He's a great player. He really is. This is about where he belongs, I would say. He's in the top tier, of not just quarterbacks, but players. Number 19, Khalil Mack, linebacker for the Bears. I mean, this dude's always dominant. Even if it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, he's affecting the play in some form or fashion. Number 18, Travis Kelce, tight end for the Chiefs. Like I said, you're talking about top 3 tight ends, and you're going Kittle, Kelce, and Ertz, and here he is. Number 17, Nick Bosa, DN for the 49ers. We just talked about Joey Bosa. Here is his younger brother, Nick Bosa, sitting at 17 after becoming Defensive Rookie of the Year. So we'll see how he carries himself in year 2. Number 16, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback for the Packers. It's Aaron bleeping Rodgers, Yes, they drafted Jordan Love, but that's a future thing. Aaron Rodgers is still here for the next couple years, and he's going to try to make the most of it. Number 15, Chandler Jones, linebacker for the Cardinals, the guy who came in second in the league for sacks at 19. I think Shaquille Barrett got 19 and a half, and he got 19. So, he was right there. And he's always so good. Getting traded from the Patriots, yeah, you're not winning Super Bowls anymore, but that doesn't change that you're not, the fact that it didn't change him as a player. He's still a really good player. Some people, when they leave New England, they don't play well anymore, That didn't happen to him. He stayed, as a great player. Number 14, Tom Brady, quarterback for the Buccaneers. Tom Brady, he is the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time. 6 Super Bowls. People are thinking maybe Patrick Mahomes could do it. That'd be one tall task. We'll see how he does with Tampa Bay, but I don't know, man. Here's the thing. If a team played New England last year, and if they scored 17 points or more, that's it, 17 points, that was the mark, they won. That was it. If a team scored 17 or more, they won. Now, that is not to say, you scored, New England didn't hit 17 all year. They did, at points, hit 17 points. But the other team just scored more. So to say, hey, all we gotta do is score 17 and our odds of beating them skyrocket, and here's the thing. His last pass as a New England Patriot is a pick six to Logan Ryan in the wild card round of the playoffs. That's his last pass as a Patriot. Number 13, Bobby Wagner, linebacker for the Seahawks. I mean, what can you say? It's Bobby Wagner. He is always one of the best, because you're talking about middle linebackers, right? And you're talking Bobby Wagner, Luke Kuechly. Kuechly just retired, so now you have Bobby, and you got to find another guy to compare him to talk about who's the best. Oh, man. Number 12, Drew Brees, quarterback for the Saints. Yeah, he missed 5 games, but he still played really, really well when he was on the field. Yeah, the Saints have struggled in the playoffs the past couple years, but what are you going to do? Number 11, number 11, Julio Jones, wide receiver for the Falcons. Julio's consistently one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL since he pretty much came into the league. You're talking about who's the best wide receiver, and it was all, a lot of times it was Antonio Brown or this guy, and the debate came, and it was Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, who's better? Well, and now you can say now, well, it's Julio because AB's not in the league, but it's absolutely crazy. Okay, now that we hit number 11 and we talked about it, before we go from 10 to 1, we're going to go over number 110 to number 101. Now, I got him here on my phone, and we're going to talk about him. So at number 110, we have Leonard Fournette. He is a guy who, he is absolutely unbelievable, because he's kind of like that Zeke, or that Chubb, where he comes at you and he hits you. So he's still really, really good. I know he's had issues with Jacksonville the past couple months, and he wanted to be traded, and he talked about Cam Newton and possibly signing him, and the Jags didn't like that, and whatever. At number 109, D-Law, DeMarcus Lawrence. He's a great DN for the Cowboys. Now, this is one of the times where he may have not showed up on the stat sheet, but he doesn't always have to, because you could still be making an impact on the play, even if you don't get any stats from it. At number 108, Justin Simmons. He's a nice safety from the Denver Broncos, and I like him overall. He's a good, but he's not that elite tier of safety. At number 107, Matthew Judon. Nice linebacker from the Ravens, and he's a good player. At number 106, Kyle Van Noy. He is a linebacker now for the Miami Dolphins after leaving New England. So he gets to play New England twice a year. It's good for him. At number 105, we have Rodney Hudson. Really nice center for the Las Vegas Raiders. And, he's a good player. Number 104, Eric Armstead. Now, it's weird because for this, it says he's a DN. Madden had him as a D tackle in Madden 20. So, but he's a defensive lineman. We can just call him that. And he's he's part of that huge line that had, 5 first rounders, I think, on it. Between Nick Bosa, DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, D Ford, I think was a first rounder. So many first rounders on that line. At number 103, we have Kevin Byard, the safety from the Titans. He's a nice safety. He's kind of a ball hawk, actually. He's worked his way into that recognition period where, maybe you didn't know his name, but now you do. At number 102, we have Maurkice Pouncey, the center from the Steelers. And he's, he's a really nice center. He's in that Rodney Hudson level, or you could say Rodney Hudson's on the level of Maurkice Pouncey, whatever you want to do. They're about the same, skill. Pouncey, he got suspended for, I think it was 2 games. Because his original suspension was 3, and he appealed it, and he got a 1-game reduction. So he served 2 games, I believe, because of his actions during the Myles Garrett incident. where he punched Miles and then tried to kick him. I don't know if he actually did kick him or not, but yeah, at the very least, he attempted to. So he got the suspended for that. But overall, he's a very nice safety. He's a very nice center. It's 11:15. I'm starting to get tired. I've been up since 8 o'clock. Give me a break, okay? At number 101, we have Julian Edelman, wide receiver for the Patriots. He was Tom Brady's go-to guy almost since he got to New England. Great player. We're going to see what he does now without Brady. He did lead the league in drops, I believe. Because I think Skip Bayless has said it 500 times while debating Shannon Sharpe about Edelman leading the league in drops or something. He was hurt for quite a bit of the season, though, I believe. And jumping on someone's car probably didn't help. All right, and to kick off the top 10, we have Derrick Henry, running back from the Titans. Imagine, if you will, the Incredible Hulk gets handed the football and is told, run that way. That's Derrick Henry. I don't think I can explain it any better. Oh, another thing, the way this was split up, they did 30, 30, 30, which gave us the top 90, and then they did the top 10. So they did it in 4 days. I didn't mention that before, so I thought I should now. At number 9, you have the Defensive Player of the Year, Stephon Gilmore, cornerback for the Patriots. Really, really, really nice corner. Like I said, he's one of the few guys in the league where you can actually say Trey White is the number 2 corner in the AFC East. Going from the Bills to the Patriots, because a lot of players, they kick it up that extra notch when they go to New England. Was really true for Gilmore. He was a good corner in Buffalo, and he goes to New England and he's great. He did allow 1 touchdown to Devontae Parker at the end of the year, I believe. If I'm correct, it was to Devontae Parker, and it was 1 touchdown, I believe. But he had 6 picks. He did really well overall. Oh, see, there's the 110 to 101. Number 8, we have DeAndre Hopkins, the newest star wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. Bill O'Brien's an idiot. He could have gotten so much more for DeAndre Hopkins. Like I said earlier when we talked about Stephon Diggs, that is how you trade a wide receiver. The highest rated tight end at number 7, George Kittle, who plays for the 49ers. This dude's unreal. The speed, the catching, the blocking, he has it all. Have fun paying him $200 million a year. Because he is that good. He is literally going to get, I don't know what tight ends make. I know Austin Hooper just became the highest paid tight end. Yeah, he's going to get about 10 mil more than that. Because he is so much better than Austin Hooper. At number 6, CMC, Christian McCaffrey, running back for the Panthers. Dude's unbelievable. He had 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving, only the 3rd player ever in NFL history to do it. He's unbelievable. His dad obviously taught him some football, but he's unreal after being drafted, I think, 8th overall. At number 5, you have the man who now holds the record for the most catches in a single season, Michael Thomas, wide receiver for the Saints. I don't even think I need to say much. I'm going to say 3 words. Can't guard Mike. I'm going to leave it at that. Number 4, you have Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes, quarterback for the Chiefs. Really, what can you say about this guy? Besides, maybe not human? Incredible? I mean, this dude literally can do it all. It doesn't matter what it is, he can do it. He was a guy, another one of those guys where I'm like, please Steelers, please Steelers, please Steelers. Chiefs straight up and draft him. Damn it. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say, oh yeah, it's easy now to go ahead and say that. First of all, it's completely true. Second of all, I will admit to one that I'm probably wrong about. And I'm saying probably because, yeah, he only played his second year, but it ain't looking good. When Josh Allen was when it became clear Josh Allen wasn't going to be there when the Steelers were going to draft, I became a very huge Mason Rudolph fan. I admit to that, okay? So, I am being honest about that. Yes, I was so sure Mason Rudolph was going to be Big Ben's heir, apparent. I'm like, that's the guy who, when Ben retires, he's going to take over. Well, it's not looking good, but we'll see. What else? Trying to think what else. Trey Lance. I'm going to call this right now. Trey Lance. He's a guy I really like. He plays at North Dakota State. Yes, that's where Carson Wentz played. He plays at North Dakota State. He's about 6'3". Basically, he reminds me of Lamar Jackson. Mobile guy. But the thing that stands out to me is he threw 28 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So I'm calling it now. Trey Lance. So no one can call me a liar. If someone calls me a liar, I'm going to come back to this video and show it to them. And if Trey Lance sucks, then I just look like an idiot. So, oh well. Number 3, Aaron Donald, D-tackle for the Rams. They moved him around a little bit to try to get him more production. But this is, again, yeah, maybe the stats aren't there, but the amount you influence, because you're getting double or triple teamed. Just because you don't get there, if you're being doubled, that usually frees up a guy. If you're getting triple teamed, that definitely frees up a guy. So the amount of attention he gets, someone else is going to make a play. And number 2, we have Russell Wilson, quarterback for the Seahawks. Unbelievable player. Don't know if you can say enough about him. And he's done it consistently for years. For years. And he's, again, like Mahomes, he can do it all. It doesn't matter what it is, he can do it. Well, I mean, maybe not like a no look, but you get the point. At number 1, league MVP, Lamar Jackson, quarterback for the Ravens. Number 1 and number 2, they were in the MVP race together. And they were competing. And you can go back to my weekly predictions that I would do. Every week for the NFL season, I did weekly predictions. And I would keep saying, Russell Wilson is my MVP. Russell Wilson's my pick for MVP. Russell Wilson's my pick for MVP. It got to a point where I'm saying, Lamar's like, he's creeping up. And it got to a point where I'm like, they're even. And it got to a point where I'm like, that's it. Lamar's MVP. I give up. And then he ended up being MVP. To have the season he did and just have it end in the divisional round kind of sucks. Because the way the Ravens played is, they would run and do play action. Well, it's kind of hard to run the ball to set a play action when Derrick Henry's running the ball and it takes the Titans 10 minutes to go down the field and score a touchdown. It's kind of hard to set up the run, or to run to set up the play action so you can actually throw. It's pretty hard to do that. So Lamar, he was forced to just throw. And when you make someone one-dimensional, even if it's a league MVP, they can struggle. And that's what happened. So, Lamar is very deserving of the number 1 spot here. Hey guys, I know I look different. So actually, I wanted to put this in because I saw what people are saying about Patrick Mahomes being number 4 and Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson being ahead of him. A lot of people have a problem with it. Even Patrick Mahomes tweeted out like a notepad with a pen, like he was taking notes, like he's not going to forget this. So, I know I said, Lamar deserves to be number 1. And I say that because they usually go off of last season. What did you do last year? Yes, Mahomes won the Super Bowl, and he's a great quarterback, but Lamar was the MVP. Russell Wilson was right behind him. So, that's usually what happens, is how did they do in 2019? Okay, that's probably somewhere in the ballpark of what they're going to rank for 2020. Like Michael Thomas, he broke the reception record. So he's going to be number 5. Aaron Donald, who's always a difference maker, is going to be that high. It's a mix between reputation and how did you actually perform. Because J.J. Watt was number 40. He was number 40-something. But he missed a lot of last year because he tore his pec. But it's his reputation. You hear J.J. Watt, and plus what he was able to accomplish when he did play last year. That's kind of what got him on the top 100. Even Dak, after his rookie year, he was number 14. Okay, because Cowboys were 13-3, and he played well for a rookie. He had very minimal interceptions, and they gave him 14th. The next 2 years, completely missed the list. After last season, where he threw for nearly 5,000 yards, right? He threw for a lot of yards, and I think he threw for in the 4,000, but high 4,000s, and he almost got to 5,000, if I'm correct. So he's going to go on the list because he played well last year. He used his legs, he used his arm, ta-da. So that's why I said Lamar deserves to be number 1 and Russell Wilson number 2. Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the entire NFL. He's the best player, now that's the thing. I didn't say he's the best quarterback, I said he's the best player in general. Every single player in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes is the best. But because they base it off 2019, Lamar was MVP, the way the Ravens dominated all but really one of their opponents, which was Tennessee, because of that, that's why Lamar's number 1. That's all I wanted to say, and we'll cut back to me when I was recording the video initially. I know he's on the cover of Madden 21, so that... we'll see what Madden Curse does. People say it didn't hit Patrick Mahomes because he won the Super Bowl. True, but he did get hurt. And also, remember who was on the cover before Patrick Mahomes? Antonio Brown. So I think it kind of hit Antonio Brown again. I think AB kind of got it 2 years in a row, and all the curse had left was a small injury for Mahomes. We'll see what Madden Curse, anything Madden Curse wise that may happen with Lamar or the Ravens this year. But that's it. That is all 100 players. I'm going to try to cut this down as much as I can. But yeah, it looks like I've been recording for over an hour. We'll figure this out. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and the channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on. I'll see you guys next video. Later.
Once I was 7 years old, Mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years